Hey everyone. I never thought I'd be writing this, but here we are. My name is Lauren. I'm 31, and up until last week, I thought I was doing the right thing by supporting my family. Turns out, I was just there walking, talking ATM. For as long as I can remember, my family has relied on me. Not in a healthy way. In the every single one of your paychecks belongs to us kind of way. My mom, Diane, is the queen of guilt trips. My dad, Mark, hasn't held a job in 5 years because he's waiting for the right opportunity. My younger brother, Zane, 28, was a college dropout who somehow always needed just one more loan to get back on his feet. And my sister, Emily, 26, had 2 kids she loved to post on social media, but never seemed to have money for their school supplies. Meanwhile, I had been busting my ass since college, working 70-hour weeks in finance, climbing the corporate ladder. I wasn't rich, but I was comfortable, or at least, I should have been. Except I wasn't. Because every single dollar I made was getting funneled into my family's endless emergencies. First, it was my dad's mortgage after his layoff, reasonable. Then Zane's tuition, except he dropped out. Then Emily's rent, because she just needed a few months to get on her feet. Then my mom's mystery illnesses, which conveniently required expensive treatments not covered by insurance. It got worse over time. I was paying for everything, groceries, car repairs, even their streaming subscriptions while I lived in a tiny studio apartment, eating ramen for dinner. I didn't even own a car, but I was making my parents' SUV payments. And they never said thank you. They acted like it was owed. The wake-up call came last week. It started with a missed Thanksgiving dinner because of work. I was drowning in a major quarter-end review, and I'd warned them weeks in advance that I couldn't make it. My mom was livid. She guilted me about how family is more important than work, and that my niece and nephew missed their favorite aunt. I felt terrible. So, in true Lauren the ATM fashion, I sent $500 for a fancy Thanksgiving dinner to make up for it. No thank you. Just radio silence. Fast forward to the following Tuesday. I was at work when I got an email from my cousin, Vanessa. Subject line: "You need to see this." I almost didn't open it. I figured it was just another dumb family drama. But curiosity got the best of me. The video took forever to load on my office Wi-Fi. But when it finally did, it wrecked me. It was footage from Thanksgiving dinner, the one I missed. At first, it looked like a normal family gathering. Turkey, drinks, laughter. Then I heard Zane. Thank God Lauren isn't here. Now we can actually enjoy ourselves without her boring finance crap. I felt my stomach drop. Then Emily. She acts like we care about her stupid job. Like we're supposed to be impressed that she knows how to balance a spreadsheet. Laughter. Then my mom raised her glass. Well, her boring job pays for this beautiful spread, so I'll drink to that. My dad laughed. Lauren, our personal ATM. Always reliable, always available. Then Zane again. You know she actually believes we need all that money? Dad, tell them about the boat. My blood went cold. The boat? Then my dad, grinning. Got a docked at Uncle Rick's lake house. Lauren thinks I'm paying for blood pressure meds, but really, I'm making payments on a sweet little fishing boat. I felt like I was going to throw up. Then my mom, smirking. And don't forget our cruise this winter. Lauren thinks it's for my arthritis treatment. They were all laughing. Everything I had sacrificed, every dollar I had sent, had been a lie. My niece and nephew didn't need private tutoring. Emily had been using that money for Botox. Zane's rent emergencies? Actually funding his online gambling habit. My dad's medical bills? A freaking fishing boat. The video ended with Vanessa's voice saying, "You guys are terrible. What if Lauren finds out?" My dad just chuckled. She won't. She's too busy working to notice. Besides, she likes helping family. Makes her feel important. I just sat there at my desk, completely frozen. I checked my phone. 5 missed calls. 2 from Vanessa, probably doing damage control. 3 from my mom, most likely asking for more money. It was the first of the month, after all. Time for the ATM to dispense. I didn't answer. I didn't say anything. I just closed my laptop, went home, and poured myself a drink. Something inside me had changed. I wasn't sad anymore. I was furious. And they were about to find out exactly what happens when you screw over the person who's been keeping you afloat. The next morning, I woke up to 23 missed calls and a flood of texts. Mom, Lauren, honey, the transfer is late. Are you okay? Dad, mortgage is due today. Need that money ASAP. Zane, yo, sis. Landlord is on my ass. Can you send it now? Emily, kid's tutor payment is due. Please don't forget this time. Not one of them asked how I was doing. Not a single, hey, how's work? Or, hope you're okay. Just, where's the money, Lauren? I scrolled through my messages from the past 6 months. Every single conversation was about money. Not one check-in. Not one moment of genuine care. I felt like an idiot. So, for the first time in years, I called in sick. I spent the morning going through my bank statements, and when I saw the numbers, I nearly fell off my chair. $1,500 per month to my parents for mortgage and medical expenses, aka dad's boat and mom's vacations. $800 per month to Zane for temporary rent help, which had been going on for 3 years. $950 per month to Emily for the kids' tutoring, aka her Botox. Plus the emergencies, car repairs, medical bills, broken appliances. Every few weeks, someone had a crisis that just so happened to require $500 to $1,000. In total, I had given my family over $110,000 in the past 3 years, and they spent it on luxuries while I lived paycheck to paycheck. I opened my banking app and canceled every single recurring transfer. Every single one. Then I blocked their numbers, deleted my email, deactivated my social media. I wasn't their wallet anymore. But something about Vanessa's email didn't sit right with me. She had been quiet for years. Why now? Why send me that video? I started digging through old texts, emails, and social media posts. And that's when I saw it. Over the past year, Vanessa had gotten unusually close to my parents. She was at every family event, getting chummy with Zane, despite once calling him a human dumpster fire. And then there were the mentions of Grandpa's lake house. Technically, the house belonged to my grandparents, but my Uncle Rick had been managing it for years. Vanessa had been obsessed with it. Little comments here and there. It's such a shame Grandma isn't using it anymore. It should be in hands that care. Your parents can't handle it alone. Maybe someone else should step in. It seemed harmless. Until I remembered something my mom had said months ago, something about using my money to cover property taxes on the lake house. Why was Vanessa so fixated on a property that wasn't even hers? I kept digging, and then I found an old group chat. Months ago, Zane had joked about my promotion. Lauren's moving up in the world. Better time our rent emergencies, haha. Vanessa's response? Yeah, we should catch her while she's feeling generous. Maybe tell her it's for the kids or something. It might have seemed like a joke. Except then I found an email. From Vanessa to Zane. If Lauren feels guilty, she'll keep paying. Just don't push too hard. We don't want her backing off. I froze. She wasn't just aware of the scam. She was part of it. She was manipulating me while playing the innocent cousin. And then I saw her social media posts. A comment from an old college friend. You still trying to get your hands on that lake house? Vanessa's reply? Working on it. Slowly but surely. Patience is key. Everything clicked. Vanessa needed me out of the way. Grandma trusted me. If the family ever sold the lake house, I'd be the first person they asked. But if I cut ties with them? If I burned the bridge myself? Then Vanessa could slide in, play the hero, and help my parents sell it. Probably to herself. She wasn't just helping them milk me for money. She was orchestrating the entire thing. And she thought I was too stupid to notice. She wanted me angry. She wanted me to cut them off, so she could walk away with the lake house. But now I had her. I texted her from my new number. Me. Hey V, it's Lauren. Got your video. Want to talk about it over coffee tomorrow? Her response came instantly. Vanessa, oh my God. Yes. I feel terrible. I'm so sorry you had to see that. Starbucks at noon? Sure, Vanessa. Sure. The next morning, I woke up to a voicemail from my mom, the only number I hadn't blocked yet. Lauren, I don't know what's going on with you, but this is completely unacceptable. Your father's health is at risk without his medication. Is that what you want? To give him a heart attack? We are your family. You can't just cut us off. Call me back. Now. I deleted it. Then I checked my email. Zane, we're coming to your office today. Be there. It was written like a threat. I forwarded it to HR and texted my boss, letting him know I had a family emergency and needed another day off. Then I headed to Starbucks to meet Vanessa. She was already there when I arrived, fidgeting with her cup, looking nervous. As soon as she saw me, she jumped up, all wide-eyed concern. Lauren, I'm so sorry about that video. I had no idea they were using you like that. I feel just awful. I sat down across from her. Calm. Collected. Waiting. How long have you known? I asked. She blinked. Too fast. Known what? Cut the act, Vanessa. How long have you known they've been scamming me? Her face twitched. I just found out at Thanksgiving. That's why I recorded it. I was shocked. I slid my phone across the table. Then what's this? She went pale. On the screen was a screenshot of her texts with Zane from 6 months ago. The ones where they were strategizing how to squeeze more money out of me. Her lips parted, then shut again. I leaned in. You've been helping them con me for years. You sent that video to push me over the edge. You wanted me to cut them off. Make me the villain while you slid in and played the hero. Her hands trembled around her coffee cup. You wanted that lake house, didn't you? The fake tears started. Lauren, I swear, it's not like that. I cut her off. I don't care why you did it. In fact, I should thank you for finally showing me the truth. But now, you're going to help me. Her brows furrowed. Help you? How? You're going to give me everything. Bank statements. Credit card receipts. Photos. I want proof of exactly where my money went. If you don't, I'll tell the whole family about the inheritance money you've been skimming from Grandpa's estate. Her eyes went huge. How did you? I smiled. I'm a lot smarter than all of you think. She swallowed hard. Do we have a deal? After a long silence, she nodded. Good. Welcome to the club, Vanessa. Later that afternoon, I got a text from my work phone. Front desk, your parents and siblings are here asking for you. Security wants to know if they should let them up. I responded immediately. Me, absolutely not. Have them escorted out if they refuse to leave. Then I turned off my phone and ordered another coffee. I had work to do. The next morning, I woke up to another voicemail. This time, it was Zane. Lauren, what the hell is wrong with you? You think you can just cut us off like that? Family takes care of family. You've got a good job. You don't even need all that money. We do. You owe us. You better call Mom back before you make things worse. I laughed. Actually laughed. They still thought they had power over me. But they were about to learn just how wrong they were. By the time I got home that evening, I had 12 more missed calls. My neighbors texted me, saying my brother was pounding on my door so hard that security had to come up. Zane had screamed through the hallway. You can't hide from us forever, Lauren. When that didn't work, they ambushed me at work. All of them. Mom, Dad, Zane, Emily. Standing in the parking lot like some deranged welcoming committee. I spotted them from my office window and immediately took the back exit. But that was just the beginning. The emails started getting more desperate. Then, the real fun started. Emily ambushed me at the grocery store. I was picking out apples when I heard. Auntie Lauren. I turned, and there were my niece and nephew running toward me. Emily was right behind them, fake tears already flowing. Thank God we found you. The kids have been so upset. They think you don't want to see them anymore. I kneeled down, hugged them, and looked Emily straight in the eye. I love the kids. This isn't about them. It's about you using their tutor money for Botox. Her face went white. I don't know what you're talking about. I smiled. Really? Because I called the tutoring center. They've never heard of your kids. She yanked the kids' hands. We're leaving. You're clearly having some kind of breakdown. She stormed off, and my niece looked back at me, confused. My heart hurt for them. They were the only innocent ones in this mess. That night, I met Vanessa at a bar across town. She slid a USB drive across the table. It's all there, she whispered. Nervous. Looking around. I plugged it into my laptop. Bank statements. Credit card bills. Photos. They had been using my money for everything. Vacations. Gambling. A boat. Designer clothes. Jewelry. Mom's facelift last year. I stared at her. The $12,000 for Mom's back surgery? Vanessa nodded. She went to Mexico for it. All-inclusive resort recovery package. I clenched my jaw. I had been eating ramen noodles while my mother sipped cocktails in a luxury spa. I snapped the USB drive shut. Thanks, Vanessa. You did good. She leaned in, eyes wide. So, about our deal. You'll keep quiet about the inheritance thing, right? I smiled. Of course. Family helps family, right? The relief on her face was priceless. She actually believed me. Cute. The next morning, I took a personal day and drove to my parents' house. According to Vanessa, they'd been holding emergency family meetings all week, trying to figure out how to pull me back in. I still had my house key. I walked in without knocking. The second I stepped inside, the room went dead silent. Everyone was there. Mom, Dad, Zane, Emily. They froze mid-conversation, like I had caught them planning a bank heist. Which, in a way, I had. Mom rushed forward, arms outstretched. Lauren. Thank God. We've been so worried. I stepped back. Save it. I tossed a thick folder onto the coffee table. I saw the video. The color drained from their faces. Except for Zane. He turned red. Vanessa, he muttered, shaking his head. I knew she'd caused trouble. I ignored him. Actually, I said, calmly, Vanessa was just the beginning. This is everything. The boat. The cruises. The gambling. The Botox. 3 years of lies. Emily's voice shook. Lauren, you don't understand. We needed. No. I cut her off. You wanted. There's a difference. I looked each of them in the eyes. I have copies of everything. Bank records showing where my money actually went. Texts between all of you, coordinating your lies. Photos of vacations you took while I was working 70-hour weeks to pay for them. Dad stood up, pointing a finger at me. You listen here. No, you listen. Something in my voice made him sit back down. I'm done. Not just with the money. With all of you. A beat of silence. Then Mom gasped. How could you say that? We're your family. I laughed. Really? Then name one thing you've done for me in the last 5 years that wasn't about money. Silence. That's what I thought. I picked up my folder. By the way, I have meetings scheduled with the IRS about all the gifts I've given you. Somehow, they were never reported as income. And Dad, the bank would like to talk to you about claiming my salary on your boat loan application. Pretty sure that's fraud. Dad's face turned purple. Emily's hands were shaking. I turned to her. Oh, and about the tutors you claimed the kids needed? I called the Learning Center. They've never heard of them. The director was very interested in hearing how you've been using their name to commit fraud. Zane jumped up and followed me toward the door. You can't do this. You're going to destroy this family. I turned to face him. No, Zane. You destroyed this family the moment you decided I was worth more as an ATM than a sister. I walked out. And for the first time in years, I felt free. That night, the threat started. Zane's emails. Emily's pity posts on Facebook. Dad's voicemails about how I was tearing the family apart. I forwarded everything to my lawyer. Evidence. 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 Then, just as I thought things couldn't get worse, my Uncle Rick called. Lauren, what the hell is going on? I sighed. Which part? Your dad told me you bought him that boat as a retirement gift. I nearly choked on my coffee. What? Yeah, he said. He told me he needed money for heart medication. I loaned him $20,000. Turns out, he used it to buy that damn boat. I sat there, stunned. They had been running this same scam on multiple family members, just on a smaller scale than what they had done to me. Uncle Rick, Aunt Linda, even Grandma. They had milked everyone dry, and none of us had ever compared notes. Until now. That was when I hatched my plan. Grandma's birthday party was coming up. The perfect opportunity to expose everything in front of the entire family. They had already told everyone I wasn't coming. They had been spreading lies, telling the family I was too busy with work because I didn't care about them. Translation? They wanted me to look like the villain. But I was about to flip the script. And this time, I was bringing receipts. The night before Grandma's birthday party, I finalized my plan. I had everything. Bank statements showing where my money had really gone. Screenshots of their texts, proving they had coordinated their lies. Photos of them living large on my dime. That infamous Thanksgiving video where they laughed about me being their personal ATM. The next morning, I got a final text from Vanessa. Vanessa, please, I'm begging you. Don't throw me under the bus tomorrow. I'll do anything. I stared at my phone for a long moment. Then I typed back. Me, don't worry. I've got your back. Just like you had mine. I lied. The party was at my parents' house, the house I had been paying the mortgage on for 3 years while they took vacations. When I walked in, every conversation stopped. Mom nearly dropped her drink. Dad went pale. Zane looked like he was going to throw up. Emily clutched her kids, as if I was some kind of threat. Grandma, on the other hand, lit up. Lauren, they said you weren't coming. She hugged me tight, and I handed her the cashmere sweater I'd bought for her. Wouldn't miss it for the world, Grandma, I said, loud enough for everyone to hear. I just had to prepare a special birthday surprise. Mom teleported across the room. Lauren, she hissed, grabbing my arm. What are you doing here? I smiled. Celebrating Grandma's birthday. Isn't that what family does? She tried to drag me toward the kitchen, but I pulled away and headed for the living room. Most of the extended family was gathered there. I spotted Uncle Rick in the corner. He gave me a subtle nod. He knew what was coming. I turned to face the room. Everyone, I called out, raising my glass. Since we're all here to celebrate Grandma, I'd like to make a toast. The room quieted. My immediate family looked like they were watching a horror movie. Vanessa was hovering near the door, like she was planning her escape route. I lifted my glass. To family. I paused. And to honesty. I hooked up my laptop to the TV. The first slide popped up. My bank statements. 3 years of monthly transfers to my parents, Zane, and Emily. Total? $110,000. Next slide. Screenshots of their texts. Say your car broke down. Dad had texted Mom. Lauren will cover it. Tell her the kids need tutors, Emily had written. She won't say no. I need new meds, Dad had texted Zane. You do the car thing next month. Zane had replied. Got it. Timing is everything. The room was dead silent. Then the photos. Dad's new boat. Mom sipping cocktails at a Mexican resort. Zane at a poker table in Vegas. Emily at a spa, mid-Botox injection. This, I said, is where my money really went. Murmurs spread through the room. Then gasps. Mom stammered. Lauren, this is a misunderstanding. I clicked again. The next slide was the video. The one from Thanksgiving. The one where they laughed about how they'd been scamming me. As it played, I watched their faces crumble. The moment Dad said, Lauren, our personal ATM, Aunt Linda gasped. The moment Mom bragged about their cruise, Uncle Rick muttered, unbelievable. And the moment Zane revealed the boat, the entire room erupted. You said you needed surgery money. Someone shouted at Mom. You said your car was repossessed. Uncle Rick snapped at Dad. The floodgates opened. Everyone started comparing stories, how Mom and Dad had conned them too. Then I saw Vanessa trying to sneak out. Oh, Vanessa, I called, loudly. Care to explain your role in all this? She froze. I don't know what you mean. I clicked to the final slide. Vanessa's texts. The ones where she had helped coordinate my family's financial scams. The ones where she had schemed to take the lake house. The bank transfers from Grandpa's estate to her account. $30,000. The room exploded. Vanessa ran out sobbing. Family members chased after her. Someone knocked over the birthday cake. And Grandma? Grandma looked shocked, but also satisfied. She leaned over to me and whispered, "Best birthday ever." By the time I stepped outside, the entire house was in chaos. Relatives were screaming at my parents. Vanessa had vanished. Zane cornered me in the driveway. You're going to regret this, he gritted through his teeth. I met his glare without flinching. No, Zane. You already do. He lunged forward, grabbing my arm. Hard. But I was ready. I pulled out my phone, screen already recording. Want to add us all to the list? His grip loosened immediately. He stormed off without another word. That night, the calls and texts flooded in. Dad, you destroyed this family. Mom, I hope you're happy. Your father might have a heart attack from the stress. Emily, the kids are crying. They don't understand why their aunt doesn't love them. I forwarded everything to my lawyer. Evidence, evidence, evidence. Then, just as I thought things had finally hit rock bottom, I got a call from the police. Zane had been arrested. Turns out, those gambling debts weren't just a bad habit. They were tied to some very serious people. Without my money to bail him out, they had come to collect. And when he couldn't pay, they beat him to a pulp and left him outside a casino. When the cops searched his car, they found drugs. Zane was going away for a long time. 2 weeks later, my Uncle Rick called me again. The bank froze your dad's accounts. Apparently, Uncle Rick had reported the fraudulent boat loan. Without their scam money, my parents were sinking fast. The family cut them off completely. And Vanessa? She was in deep trouble, too. The prosecutors offered her a deal. Testify against my parents in the fraud case, or face charges herself for embezzlement. She chose self-preservation and rolled on everyone. 1 month later, I stood in the living room of my new condo. No roommates. No family names on the mortgage. Just mine. I was free. As I stared at the keys in my hand, my phone buzzed. A text from Emily's son, using her number. When can we see your new house, Auntie Lauren? I stared at it for a long time. Then I typed back. Soon. Just you and your brother. We'll have ice cream. Because the family I was born into might be beyond repair. But maybe, just maybe, I could salvage something with the ones who never asked me for a damn thing. The ATM is closed. Permanently.